Hi, Soul Family. It's been a minute. And okay, for y'all, it's been like 5 days. And for me, it's been like 2 weeks. It's been 5 days for y'all because I have been trying to post still. Yay, me. And then it's been 2 weeks in reality because, I've been like recording stuff, but I just feel like it wasn't the content that I needed. And then I was going through a lot behind the scenes, of course. But I am really excited this time because this is the last time you're going to hear me. Yeah, I've been going through a lot. Because I've been going through a lot, but this is like my last time, and I'm going to tell y'all why, but let's, do the normal ritual. I do not have tea because it is hot, okay, but I do have some incense, okay, instead of a candle, which is like $20, we got an incense for $1, which I like better. So let's get into it. As you can see, that is a thick ass incense. But yeah, I got it from a smoke shop, My Lord Variety Store. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so guys, I don't even know where to start because I don't know. It's been a good 2 weeks, but I think I'm gonna dive into the last time. The last time that you guys see me was we were talking about the whole little miscarriage thing, and after that, I think we were talking about the change, and now we have to have the change within us, right? So it has definitely been a change, but positive change. I'm gonna really emphasize on the positive, but in order for me to go through this positive change, I had to transform my soul, and I felt that physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, right? So right now I just feel like lighter in my energy, but I also feel like this is a renewed energy, but also, an energy that is going to stick, right? Because I'm gonna get into that in a little bit, but I had to let go of a lot of stuff, right? So when we were talking about the change, I had to change my environment. I had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I perceive certain things. I had to change, how I approach situations in life, and, not being so quick to have an attitude, not being avoidant, and yeah, because the last predicament I was in showed me that I can be very avoidant towards life, people, and situations, right? We talked about this multiple times. You guys know me, I am avoidant. That's one of my attachment styles, right? So I had to realize that not only is it holding me back romantically, but it's holding me back in life as well, because I didn't see the importance of depending, I ain't gonna say depending, but leaning on my community when the time comes, right? And it's mainly because of trauma. I've been through a lot of friend groups. I've been through a lot of situations where people have proven to me over and over again, you ain't ish, right? So that's also forced me to come to myself and shut people out. And at first I'm that's just me as a person, I'm not the type to have a whole bunch of friends or right? Which I'm still not, but the friends that I started to make, I wasn't leaning on them or seeing them as parts of my community because of, the lack mindset and the trauma I was holding on to from my past, right? So that was like preventing me from exploring new relationships and also preventing me from getting closer to the friends that I already have in my community, right? So, and also clouding my judgment, of course, because the craziest thing is when they say you attract what you fear, let that be known, okay? Let that be known, because, it's really funny how you don't want something so bad. Like, say you don't want a toxic relationship so bad, right? And I'm like speaking for me in this instance. I don't want a toxic relationship so bad, but that's exactly what I attracted. That's exactly what I felt comfortable in, even though I did not want it, but I attracted it anyways because that was the energy I was embodying, right? And it was a hard pill for me to swallow because I was doing it back to back for years, and like kind of wondering like, okay, what's wrong? Like, am I doing something wrong in this situation? Like, why am I attracting exactly what I don't want, And it's not that like I didn't know better or didn't want to try to do better, but it was obviously something about me that had to change so I could, attract something new, attract something that's not toxic, right? So knowing my avoidant behaviors, that's exactly what I attracted. I either attracted, people that lacked emotional intelligence, and this is outside of relationships too, like this is friendships and everything like that. Just really like looking back on the patterns that I had within the people that I would meet or make my friends, right? And it's funny because I would literally hesitate to make the good people my friends, like probably give them like the hardest time to enter my life. But the people that I know that are like my comfort zone or toxic, you could say, I made it easier for them to be my friend because it was what I've known, even though low-key I knew it wasn't right. Low-key, I should have listened to my intuition. But that's something that resonated with me at the time. That's something that, I couldn't step away from at the time because that's exactly what I embodied. So I had to, realize that with myself. And even though I did realize it, I still stuck with it. Because I always knew, like, okay, I can be dismissive at times. Like, that is something that is installed within me from a young age. It's going to be hard to, kind of, like, chip away that. But I came to the point where, like, I'm tired of, settling for the things that I know is comfortable. I know I fear it low-key, but I don't feel like getting out my comfort zone at the moment, because getting out your comfort zone requires a leap of faith, and a leap of faith requires stepping out into the unknown, and the unknown can be very, very scary and unstable for somebody that likes structure, somebody that likes to stay in control of things. And I realized the one thing why I attracted the situations and everything like that, because I knew what to expect. Even though it was something that I feared, even though it was something that I knew I shouldn't be in the first place. I knew what to expect. So of course I'm going to make it easier for the toxic person to stay in my life because I know what to expect from you. And that's what I was comfortable with. And that's what I had to let go of in order to step into a change that is really meant for me, like finally come into the things that are meant to stick in my life instead of wanting to be in control. It was a control thing this whole time. It was a control thing of, any situation that I was in type of thing. Like, I know you have the ability to manipulate yourself in a situation, but in a sense I was using manipulation too because I knew I could control that at the end of the day. I knew what to expect at the end of the day. When you're stepping into the unknown, or when you're stepping into something that is out of your comfort zone, you can't control it. You can't manipulate it to go your way. You know what I'm saying? If it goes a way that you don't expect it to, you can't do nothing about it because you've never been in this territory before. You don't know how to control it. You don't know how to manipulate it. So I had to realize that, girl, just like the people that you're attracting, you're toxic too. Like, you might not manipulate the person exactly per se, but you are definitely trying to manipulate something into your control in this situation. And you can't play victim. You can't blame the person because it takes two, So that was a big girl realization of me, which I'm very proud of that. I don't want to be in that situation no more because it's not doing me no good. Like, my body was starting to crave change, my mind, my soul, my spiritual self. Like, it was just like, okay, it's time to grow up. At some point, you're gonna have to let this go. At some point, you're gonna have to stop being avoidant. At some point, you're just going to have to stop looking at love from a logical standpoint because it's not logical. And a female is not supposed to be as logical as I was coming off, especially because I am a Capricorn. Hey, it's like, I gotta force myself to be empathic at times. Don't get me wrong, I am emotional, but sometimes I have to force myself to be emotional and not think so logical, right? And that's just me. So I'm trying to step more into my emotional side instead of being so logical about things, and just tell myself, hey, just go for it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm sorry for the banging, y'all. The door is open and I do not feel like going outside, and and the wind is acting up. Sorry. But I had to realize that I don't want to be logical like that anymore. I don't want to be avoidant like that anymore because it's not doing me any good. It's not doing me any good anymore. Like, it was low-key stressing me out. And I don't want to be stressed out anymore because I have goals to attend to. I have, bigger things to worry about. I'm only getting older, and it's like, okay, time to get out of survival mode. It's done. The hard part is over. Let's do something more enjoyable now because this is not it. So I decided to make that decision. And when I decided to make that decision, Lord have mercy, I have felt it physically. Why? I don't even know what the hell to call it. I was telling people that I was sick. And when you think of sick, like, you're thinking like, yeah, coughing. Like, my energy was so depleted, right? And like my crown chakra, my head was just booming. Like, I felt like I had a whole migraine, and I haven't had one of those since I was like a little ass girl. So that was mind boggling. And then like my chakra, my back, was killing me. Like, I felt like it was a ton on my back. And like I said, my energy was so depleted, I couldn't get out of bed for like the whole weekend. And then I decided, hey, my dumbass, I decided, hey, let me take a full spoon of black seed oil on an empty stomach, knowing that my energy is already depleted and I don't feel good already. But let's do it anyways, right? So I did that, and I regretted it. that same day I regretted it, because that black seed oil crippled my stomach. Anything I ate or drank, I could take a sip. I literally took a sip of Powerade, and the next moment I'm using the bathroom, and it was terrible. It was terrible. So the energy I felt, the release of negative energy, everything, like, it literally drained me. It drained me. And the only thing that I could really think of is like, okay, this is a big spiritual ascension right now, right? This is something I have to go through to get to the next level, and I hated it. Like, one thing about me, I do not like being sick. I just feel like it holds me back, but I needed to slow down for sure, so I could actually, transmute my energy into something better, because I'm like, this is years of trauma I was letting go. Like, this is not something that I'm letting go of, like a past relationship. That's light, you know what I'm saying? That's whatever. But it depleted my energy so bad, because literally one thing about me, right? After that first heartbreak, I didn't realize how shut off I was to love. And on the surface, I'm not gonna say that. Deep down, I've always been a lover girl, right? So even when I wasn't looking for love, I found myself in predicaments that, resembled a relationship, or heavy talking stages, or just really liking somebody. But deep down, I was closed off to it, thinking, at a certain point I gave it my all. But then when I was really looking back at like how I was behaving, and everything, I was very avoidant, to have that control. Like, I'm not going to give you all of me right now, because that means that you will have some type of control over me. And you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the people that I was dealing with, they were already manipulative. And I was already playing that game from in my house, with the whole empath and narcissist. And you got to learn that behavior to survive and everything like that. So it was just a whole dynamic of that for years after the first heartbreak. I guess after my dad, and carrying that onto relationships and trying to figure out why the hell it's ending. But at the same time, it's like, yeah. Like, my dating life and friendship choices was a mess. Okay? A big mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I went back and forth between wanting a relationship and not wanting a relationship, or wanting to be open to something but at the same time not being open. It was just a whole back and forth, and causing me to have conflict. And when I realized something is not working out for me, okay, it ends, I most likely ended it. excuse me, 9 times out of 10. And I'm like, at first I used to blame the other person, you know, like, they're not this and that, they're emotionally immature, they used to try to manipulate me, I don't like don't like that, just, you know, like, just complaining all the time about the other person, how they did me wrong. But at the end of the day, baby girl, you had that within you as well, so you can't be mad at nobody, you know what I'm saying? And what made me really realize that was not up till recently. I was watching a TikTok and this lady was talking about, well, she was doing a POV of what was the word? A dismissive, avoidant woman. And girl, when she described that and was like talking like a dismissive, avoidant woman, I felt like she was coming for me. Like, everything she was saying, I was like, damn, I used to do that for real. Like, girl, like, you low-key was toxic. And, you know, toxic in a way that made it work for you. You know what I'm saying? Other people probably might not have noticed it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you didn't have bad intentions behind it, but you weren't perfect at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you picked at problems that could have been resolved, picked at the problems, got an ick over certain things, and just ended it. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew you weren't supposed to be in that situation in the first place, right? So that was my main thing. Like, I was a runner. Any little conflict that, like, I feel like I'm already in a situation where I don't want to be vulnerable, and now you want to do this. This is my exit plan. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of that going on, and I just didn't realize how toxic that was until the video popped up, or I didn't realize how toxic that was until I decided I don't want to be in that energy anymore. Like, really questioning myself, okay, why am I a slow burn for real? Like, there's multiple reasons why you could be a slow burn. I still like taking my time, but I feel like the extent of how I would really do it, or, you know, I have myself in like 6-month situationships knowing that it ain't really gonna go nowhere on his or my part, and I'm glad it didn't, actually, because I wasn't supposed to be in these things anyways, like, you know. But questioning why I'm a slow burn in the first place is because I've been very dismissive, avoidant. It would take me months to be vulnerable with somebody. Just to even say the words "I like you" would be a fucking struggle for me. Like, to withhold information about my feelings, or, you know, hold my cards close to my chest for months and months and months, and not realizing that a guy actually needs that validation, you know, those words of affirmation that I just never really gave, unless, you know, you gave it first. And then even if you give it first, I'm still not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, vulnerability was a very hard thing for me to do, and it's because I resisted in that, because I didn't want to lean on other people. I didn't want to open up, which I'm glad I didn't with the selection that I had dating. But the selection that I'm opening up myself to now, I have to reciprocate that vulnerable, open energy, because that's exactly what I want reciprocated to me, you know? Like, I want that equal give and take, and I have to realize that I have to give in as much as I want somebody to give in as well, you know? So, and that also goes for career wise. Like, I have to be more vulnerable and open about what I want to do with myself and my career and my purpose, because it's literally just the phase that I'm at right now, to be honest. Like, just tired of going in circles. I just feel like life was repeating the same things over and over and over again because it just wasn't clicking. Like something was not clicking. Like it was not going through my thick ass skull that, baby girl, you're the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I could admit I was highly focused on myself and my spiritual journey and my healing journey at the moment, that I wasn't really focused on like leaning on my community and stuff like that. But since the hard part is over for me, it's time for me to open up to my community again, and in a healthy way, because back then I was a little ratchet. Okay, I was one of them. I don't want to be in that energy no more, because that's the young giant. Like, she was just wilding out for no reason, right? Low-key doing the most for no reason. I don't want to be that no more. I'm adulting, so I have to do it in a healthy way, right? Like, in order for me to be able to travel the world and start generating money and everything like that, I gotta change up a few things. You know what I'm saying? I gotta come out of survival mode. I gotta actually believe that good things can come to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want that dream relationship, well then, hey, I gotta be the dream partner. I gotta be the partner that I actually want, right? So becoming a more healthier version of me, so I could start leaning on my community, number one, and actually contributing to my community in the way that I need/want to, and it was just all about switching my mindset and eventually switching around the people that I attract, no regrets though, never that. So I'm good. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited to see where the next couple of months or even years is going to take me, and just kind of look back at, age 21 and realize, hey, she did that. Like, I changed my mindset and never looked back. That's the type of timing that I am on. Right? And also being lucky, because a lot of people my age don't really come to that conclusion, right? And that's why a lot of people tell me, like, people in their 30s, 26 and up, they're like, yeah, you're in your 20s is the 20s where you learn about yourself. You're going to go through so many things, trial and error, and literally, I feel like my trial and error phase of the 20s it's wrapping up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm blessed that it's happening in a way where I could learn these lessons at a young age and still pursue the things that I want at the same age, right? So by the time I'm 25, I should, and I don't know. I just don't like when I say these things, like, yeah, I'm dating for long term and, marriage and everything like that. Like, marriage is in the back of my head, and, having a house and family is in the back of my head. For sure. It is. Like, I be forgetting I'm only 21. Yes. And when I tell people that, they're like, oh, you're still young. You're like, how old are you again? 21. Oh, you're a baby. Cool. I don't like when people say that, because it's really like there's no like age limit or a start to when you should be thinking about these things. Like, I'm a person that thinks about her future all the time. If that's something that's in the back of my head, shit, I could be 18, 17. If that shit is in the back of my head, it's in the back of my head. Now, am I rushing it? No. But is it something that I eventually want to work towards? Yes, and that is my prerogative. Like, I'm not gonna feel shame about that or feel like I should be hoeing in my 20s because that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, I don't feel like that's my calling. I don't feel like that's the path that I want to go down, and that is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the end of the world if I decide to be locked down right now. I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that when it comes to dating. I'm tired of it. And the dating pool is mainly full of people trying to figure out themselves and, figure out who they are, what they want, trauma. But if I done been through that already, and I feel like I have, you know what I'm saying? Can't knock me for the next steps I'm about to take. That's none of your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, yeah. I will forever feel like I'm on the right path, even when I feel like it's cloudy, even when somebody feels like I'm not. I just had to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? I had to put that out there. Because, shit. The way I'm about to move after this is just like, it's just going to be so different. It's really just working towards my future right now. It's just so different. Like, I've been there, done that, guys, when it comes to survival mode, right? And even if somebody's like 23, 24, whatever, and they're still in the survival mode, for the average person, that is what you're supposed to do, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Be that, but I'm not the average person. So that is not my path. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want people to also feel like I'm moving too fast in that way. I feel like I'm moving perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But thank you for coming to the Sweet Tea Show. That was a little catch up on things. Hope you guys could take away from my experience, and there will be plenty more, but positive experiences, because it's time for us to come out of survival mode as a collective. Ain't just me. Like, we all need to be, thinking about our future, before we can't afford a future. Because the way how this world is going. But like I said, thank you guys for coming to the Sweet Tea Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share to a friend. Let's get to 1,000 people. We are on our way up because we have a mission. Okay, so family, we have a mission to spread positivity. We have a mission to do better as people. And we have a mission, and honestly, we owe it to ourselves to just be better people. We ain't got nothing else to do on this earth but be better people. So why not? What's the worst that could happen? Nothing. Because we're working towards being a better person. What? You're going to actually achieve your goals? You know what I'm saying? So we're here with it, and I will see you guys next time.